John, welcome back to TRUnblock.com. Now, as a brand, Tito's continues its unique dynamic in global travel retail. Just how has the brand performed, and what's the brand's main achievements that you can allude to over the last 6 months or so?
Well, we've been very fortunate. The brand's up high double digits again this year versus last year. And our achievements that I can point to this year are we just landed Aer Lingus miniatures on board. We have Stena ferry lines, which 17 different routes in Scandinavia. We have all of the Poland airports, and we're activating in many of the Asian duty-free with the duty-free operators, such as Taipei duty-free, Seoul duty-free, Fiji, so on and so forth.
Now, is some of this linked to your decision last year to opt for different distributors in different territories? I mean, how's that actually worked out for you? I mean, obviously it's beaten expectations.
Right, well, finding good distributors is a challenge.
It's an art form.
Yes, it is. You know, first of all, you have to find, is it the right portfolio fit? Then how's their communication? So this has been a long journey, and we've found some very good distributors over the last 18 months, namely in Italy with Valier, Croatia, G3, Greece with Concepts, and we're continuing to work to find better distributors, because I'm sure you know, after all your years in the industry, that distributors sometimes will take you on to kill you. And I've been killed in a number of distributors over the years.
Well, too many distributors have arguably too many products in their barrow, and there's a clear conflict there, potential conflict.
Right, but they'll sell you that there's not.
Of course.
And then you find out when it's too late. So there's a lot of time and effort. The key is finding a good brand manager within the operation that will communicate with our team.
But it's also being embedded in the Tito's handmade vodka culture, isn't it? To really sort of get to grips with that and to deliver the unique story that you do, but also the fact that you've got now a number of different distributors. So, I mean, getting to all sort of to sing from the same hymn sheet is not an easy challenge.
This is true. We have 150 different distributors around the globe. That doesn't include the U.S. So no two distributors are alike in my world.
There's more distributors than countries, aren't there?
Yes, there is. This is true. And more popping up every day.
All right. So, look, you are the top U.S. selling brand, and for good reason. And you've got an extraordinary fan base there. And there are arguably few brands that are as innovative or as original as Tito's. To use your own words, and I quote here, we build brand loyalty through highly creative, university relevant and fun campaigns. And by God, it's true. But is it difficult to make this work across different cultures and geographies?
I find that the simple programs work easily across the globe. The challenge that I find is that trying to convince distributors to take advantage of our Love Tito's, which is our charitable arm in the company. That's a real challenge to try to say, look, if you put together a program where you pick the charity, provided it clears muster, we'll donate so much money per bottle, you know, and then they're saying, I don't understand, you want to give money away? Yes, we want to support organizations within your country. And it takes quite a sales job to convince them to take advantage of that. And equally is the Vodka for Dog People program. So, you know, constantly we're saying, hey, you must have pet welfare organizations that we can support. And slowly but surely they're coming around. But it's a challenge.
We're talking about pets. I mean, what are you doing in Dubai right now?
In Dubai, we've worked just outside of Dubai. There's a store called Barracuda that Trubel owns, and they wanted to set up a babysitting animal place outside. So customers come up and they give their pet over to the organizers outside, and it's all Tito's pet friendly. Dog bowls, bandanas, and Tito's toys they can play with. It's quite a unique concept.
Let's just develop this, John, and walk us through the remarkable Tito's in a big can and Tito's in any can campaigns.
Well, I don't know if you're familiar, but in the United States, everybody and their brother has come out with a premixed cocktail in a can. Seltzers, you name it. They've come out with every flavor under the sun. And our fans were asking us, Tito should come out with a premixed cocktail. And we firmly believe we do not need a premixed cocktail because our consumers know how to make a cocktail that suits their needs. But so we came up with a tongue-in-cheek campaign because we want to be different, better, and special than everybody else. So we came up with an empty can so you can make your own salsa.
Wasn't it a keg, not a can? I mean,
Yeah.
the ready-to-drink cans of this size. Yours is this big.
Yeah, it was a very popular sized drink. And we sold the cans online, and they sold out within 1 week. So people had a lot of fun with it.
There comes a time when every alcohol brand must ask, should we make a seltzer? And our answer is no. Introducing Tito's in a can. It's literally an empty can that we're selling. That's right. You add the Tito's and the soda and the lime and whatever. Now you can drink your Tito's from a double-insulated, refillable, cold, hard can. In all these can-drinking places, we don't make seltzers. You do.
Are you going to return to that campaign?
No, we came out, I don't know if you're familiar with the campaign. We also ran a year ago, January, a Dry January campaign with Martha Stewart. So that went viral. And then we did something with TikTok. TikTok encouraged all their followers to invite their favorite brands to their wedding. So we've received about 250 wedding invitations in Austin, Texas. And we said, all right, what are we going to do with these? So marketing sat around and they hand wrote congratulatory letters back to the couples. And in addition to the letters, we engraved 2 copper mugs with the name of the couple and the date of their union and mailed them back to them. So it was a high-tech moment that became high-touch.
Okay, what about Tito's in a can, or not, as the case may be?
Right, we did that once. We won't do it again, but it was very successful. TV stations picked it up and went globally, showing the Tito's empty can.
Okay, let's move on to general market trends. I mean, do you think the trade, because this has been a hobby horse of yours for quite some time, has it wised up to the fact that vodka remains underspaced compared to gin?
Absolutely not. What I would say is that buyers are not interested in listing more gins, but there's clearly too many
premium gins.
Maybe premium gins. I mean, a lot of the premium gins that are available are trying to do innovation. So it's becoming a case of, okay, one in, one out. They're not going to expand the number of flavors of a specific brand. As an example, I went to a hotel lobby bar in Manila this past week. They had 20 different gins displayed on the floor in a hotel lobby. It was breathtaking. Still, when I go into duty-free outlets and I see 3 wall bays versus 1, it's just disproportionate. You know, vodka deserves more shelf space than we're given.
One thread that's quite interesting in terms of a growing dynamic in this business is the potential challenge from tequila and mezcal. I know it's still at a very, very low percentage of the business, but they are growing spirits, and there is obviously a market opportunity for them. Do you see that as a potential threat, or is it something that you might even consider getting into as a company yourself?
Well, the first part of your question about the growth and the threat is that, believe it or not, the brands that are $50 and over are declining rapidly. There's only one brand that continues to grow in that segment, and it's not a threat to my category and our price point. It's a threat more to those categories that are in the same price range. And we are not going to get into the tequila business. In fact, I have a little chuckle when I see people in other companies talking about, well, this year we're going to take tequila global. Well, they're about 20 years too late, because I was involved in taking tequila global.
I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So look, when we talked last time around, it was a major focus of yours was digitalization, or the lack of it, in the business. Can you identify any decent take-up or major moves on this from the business, or do you still consider that too few are walking the talk?
I have seen absolutely no movement. It's clear to me, and I've said it before, the trade organizations need to be the lead on this. TFWA, IAADFS, MEDFA, ASUTIL, they need to come together and rally with the suppliers and manufacturers to come together to make a global duty-free app. You know, here another year has gone by. Let me give you an example. In the United States, the WSWA, which is the Wine Spirits Wholesalers Association, they work with suppliers. Now they've created a database to track what brands are selling on premise. That's the trade organization that did that. Another trade organization is DISCUS, the Distilled Spirits Council of the United States, which at one time I happened to be the chairperson of that organization. And one of the things we did is all the suppliers came together and we supported a program called We Don't Serve Teens. It was a program to prevent underage drinking in the United States.
Yeah.
And it was very successful. We weren't competitors. We were together on that for the common good. And that's what needs to happen in the duty-free world.
So your message to the trade associations is they should really get off the potty and drive change.
I think that's pretty kind.
And to stay with change and going back to your brand, is there any likelihood that Tito's will ever add flavored vodka to your portfolio?
Peter, there's not a chance that we'll add flavored vodka. All the big players in this industry have added every flavor known to man. I mean, it got so bad that there was cupcake vodka and whipped cream vodka. I mean, who are you marketing to when you come out with flavors like that?
Giving marketing managers a job, I suspect.
Yes. Yeah. So we're not coming out. There's enough flavors out there.
Now, we did touch upon this earlier, where the culture of the company is so radically different. I mean, this is shown in all Tito's Handmade Vodka's various charitable causes, and notably, as we just said earlier, in animal charities. Can you give us, though, some recent examples of what Tito's has been up to?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me give you an example. In 2023, we worked together with our South African distributor, Tito's, and all the on-premise and off-premise retailers in the town of Parkhurst, South Africa. The town had a field that they wanted to raise money to put a fence around so that pets could run wild, and they didn't know what to do. So our distributor approached us, and we partnered with our distributor and the retailers, and for every bottle sold to Tito's, or instead of happy hours, we run yappy hours, we donated money towards this organization. And the retailers put up displays of Tito's. They even went as far as to put up billboards promoting Tito's and this cause. And I'm happy to say we all came together for a worthy cause, and the fence has been built. So we're very proud of that initiative. And just this past, well, not just past week, 2 weeks ago, I read about this in the newspaper. We rescued 300 dogs and cats in Puerto Rico, and we partnered with the pet welfare organization down there and flew those pets to America so that we could find homes for them.
Hi, John. We always have very direct conversations, straight talking. What are your current challenges?
The current challenges are we're a single brand company, and the other challenge we have is we don't have our own distribution operations around the globe. We depend on third-party operators to get to market. And again, as I mentioned earlier, that's a challenge, finding good partners. And another big challenge is we don't have the budgets that the major players do. And they can give a lot of money to outlets that I can't, and they tend to block me. So it's very difficult to overcome, but if there's a will, there's a way.
You may be a one-trick pony, but as a brand, you certainly punch above your weight.
I would agree with that, but we need to punch better above our weight.
Okay, John, one last question. 3 things you want to communicate to the trade? What would they be?
Well, the first thing would be that on-premise and off-premise operators need to rethink the amount of space they're giving to gin versus vodka. Vodka deserves a bigger space in their outlets. The second thing is these operators, they need to take advantage of our charitable initiatives that we offer.
I mean, they're very good.
And then last and certainly not least is that there's 132 million Americans that travel the globe, and they love Tito's vodka. I would ask everybody, please stock a bottle of Tito's, because American consumers demand it.
Great stuff, John.
Thanks.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for doing it.